and gay women are now subservient to the idea of the transgender movement. They are being erased. I have interviewed lesbians who feel that they are being encouraged to come out as transgender because they are presenting, according to psychologists and people within their own community, as men. And because they're presenting as men, they should become men. This is really problematic. And we see this from each community that the woke culture says that it's actually advancing.
الآن إذن إلى أخبار الرياضة البارز. المنتخب الوطني لأقل من 17 عاما يواجه السعودية يوم الاثنين في نصف نهائي كأس العرب الجارية بالجزائر.
Radio Kitai Italiana. Let's go music.
Dragi slušatelji, dobrodošli v dnešna rubrika Kitajska muzika.
تاسو Voice of America دیوا اورئ. دا خبرونه د مخکې نه ریکارډ شوې. د تازه خبرونو او معلوماتو لپاره تاسو د Voice of America دیوا فیسبوک، ټویټر، انسټاګرام او د دیوا ویب سایټ کتلی او اورېدلی شئ.
سلیم شئ. له واشنگټن دا پروګرام هلو وی د زرحمان بنوران.
For joining us, I'm Nabil Biagio, and here's what's coming up.
And this drought is actually worse than the drought of 2011, when we had 150,000 people lost their lives.
That's UNICEF Somalia representative Wafa Saeed on the dire situation in Somalia from a severe drought. Also, a roadside bomb in northern Burkina Faso has killed at least 35 people, and Chad is battling flood from the heaviest rains in 32 years. All this and more coming up on Africa News Tonight.
Troops should not be there at the nuclear power plant, and Ukrainian technicians should run the power plant, not with the help of Russian technicians who don't really know much about that Ukrainian nuclear power plant.
China is stabilizing its currency to help the whole world to have a stable consumer price. So let's check it out. What's going to happen in the last quarter of this year?
All right. Thanks for your thoughts on this. Chu Chang, Assistant Director and Fellow at Renmin University's International Monetary Institute. Well, the 22nd China International Fair for Investment and Trade is currently underway in South China's Xiamen City.
Well, there was more success to come. The Queen's Horse Estimate won the 2013 Gold Cup at Ascot. In doing so, she became the first reigning monarch to win the trophy in one of sport's most prestigious races for 207 years. There's now a statue of Estimate at the Royal Studs at Sandringham, and it's there as a breeder the Queen is credited with greatly improving the quality of British bloodstock. Sir Francis Brooke, who was Her Majesty's representative at Ascot, the racecourse most deeply connected with the Queen, said the world of racing has lost one of its greatest supporters.
This is the BBC World Service, where author Isabel Nazon continues the understory right in the soil.
Today, California produces around half of the fruit and vegetables for the United States.
crisis coming in your lifetime. This is the last generation. Prepare to meet your God. Maranatha. Several years ago, as I began to preach on radio, I preached a message on the destruction of America.
Welcome to the September 12th edition of the Sunny Side of Sports. Let's give a Sunny Side of Sports salute to the Copper Queens of Gambia, who won their first Council of Southern Africa Football Association Women's Championship in Port Elizabeth, South Africa.
Live Talk namhlanje kuhlelo The Connection sixoxa nabasakhulayo ngokuphezwa kwembadalo yezifundo emakolitshini ama-university okwenze ezinye izifundo zibotshwe ebezithengisela zisola lokhu kukhuphulwa kwembadalo. Singehlukane zehlobo ukuthi sikhangele ezinye zendaba ebezikhokhela.
This is VOA News. Reporting via remote, I'm Jeff Custer. Ukrainian troops advanced further into the northeastern region of the country Tuesday, reclaiming the town of Volchansk, 3 kilometers from the Russian border that Moscow forces had seized on the first day of their invasion nearly 7 months ago.
Military experts, as well as, some of the fear here in Kiev, some urges were that this war was going to get bogged down, that Russia would dig in for the long haul and continue and rely on Western allies to lose interest in supporting Ukraine. Instead, we find ourselves where a Russian loss is being seriously considered outside of the normal propaganda messaging.
This is the voice of Turkey. Is the Voice of Turkey's English language transmission broadcasting from Ankara in the 49-meter band between 1830 and 1930 UTC on 5945 kHz to Europe, between 2030 and 2130 UTC in the 31-meter band on 9875 kHz to South Asia and Australia, between 2200 and 2300 UTC in the 31-meter band and on 9830 kHz to Europe, Eastern USA and Canada, and in the 25-meter band on 11660 kHz between 1630 and 1730 UTC to Afghanistan, Pakistan, India, Uzbekistan and Turkmenistan. The Voice of Turkey is also beamed between 0300 and 0400 UTC in the 41-meter band and on 7275 kHz to Europe, the USA, Eastern Canada and Cuba, between 0300 and 0400 UTC in the 49-meter band on 6165 kHz to Iraq, Syria, Iran and the Arabian Peninsula. You can listen to us over the Turksat 3A and 4A satellites and on the internet at www.trt.net.tr through the Voice of Turkey link. Please note that transmissions broadcast between 2200 and 2300 UTC and between 0300 and 0400 UTC have been pre-recorded. Our email address is englishdesk@trt.net.tr.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello. This is Halil Ibrahim Sarıkaya from Voice of Turkey. Today, 15th of September 2022. You are listening to the news. International credit rating agency Fitch Ratings lowered its growth forecast for the global economy in 2022, but raised Turkey's growth forecast.
And up next is the roof of the Turkish press. Let's start with the Daily Star, which quotes President Erdogan speaking about Azerbaijan-Armenian clashes. And he? This is Twenty Breiter is Captain Air.
Bonjour et bienvenue sur la voie de la Corée et merci à présent sur votre notre bulletin d'information. Le respecté camarade Kim Jong-un a envoyé un message de réponse au président syrien.
Good morning, second week to Shamrock 5649er, Southend-on-Sea.
Sendet Zeit 6 Uhr bis 6:30 Uhr, 12 Uhr bis 12:30 Uhr und 20 Uhr bis 20 Uhr.
Это же просто подарок небес. «Эй, Сунь-Цуань, выходи, пришла твоя смерть!» — крикнул Джан Ляо и помчался прямо к белой палатке. Этот крик не на шутку напугал Сунь-Цуаня. Он судорожно заорал: «Убейте его! За его смерть обещаю щедрую награду!»
كونوا في الموعد. القناة الأولى.
Перед ними открывались густые заросли тростника. «Возможно, здесь ловушка», — подумал бдительный Гуань Юй. И точно. Как только они зашли в заросли, кто-то закричал: «Эй, Гуань Юй, тебе конец!» В тот же момент послышался характерный свист. Сквозь тростниковые заросли прямо в него летела стрела.
Transformation ang pagpupuno para maging tama yung supply ng kuryente at makahanap ng ating mga negosyo.
Ilang araw pa lamang ang pinamalagi ni Pangulong Marcos Jr. sa Amerika.
Chers amis francophones, amoureux du pays du matin clair, vous qui écoutez en ce moment KBS World Radio, vous êtes sur la bonne station. Actualité politique, économique et culturelle, initiation au Hangul, découvertes gastronomiques et bien d'autres choses encore, nous allons satisfaire tous les curieux, alors laissez-vous guider et bonne écoute à tous.
Mesdames et messieurs, bonsoir et merci d'avoir choisi le journal en français de KBS World Radio. Voici tous les principaux titres de ce mercredi 21 septembre.
Yoon Suk-yeol donne son premier discours à l'Assemblée générale des Nations Unies. Le président sud-coréen promet d'employer tous les moyens pour ouvrir la porte fermée de Pyongyang. Le mémorial de la guerre piraté au début du mois. Et enfin, la Corée du Sud compte 1,29 million d'adultes millionnaires.
Le président de la République Yoon Song-yeol a pris la parole mardi à l'Assemblée générale des Nations.
مدب ما يكوشن نقع بالحن مساهم حجم بار بزعبا قلة طباب زد لي حتى قانقوا انجليز كنملسينا نايلهم حتى مبار امونغو all together كم كلت قانقوهم كله قمون all together كم حدا قانقوهم كله نزل في اللي انتا يزبل قوانيو.
Hello again, it's Phil, and together with me today is
Beth. Hi everybody.
And we're going to look at another question in English, and today's question is, what's the difference between all together, that's two words, all and together, and all together, which is one word?
Yeah, they obviously sound very similar, but they do have different meanings.
Well, let's start by looking at all together, that's two words.
Hey Phil, it's such a nice day. Do you want to go to the park after work?
What, just us two?
No, the whole team. Everyone, all together.
Ah, yes. And that's all together, two words, all and together. And we use it when we talk about with everyone.
And Phil, thinking about all together, do you eat dinner with your family in front of the TV or at the table?
No, we eat it all together at the table. I think meal times are important.
Okay, so Phil is there with his wife and his children all together at the table. So that's two words, all together, and they all sit, everybody in the family there, together.
Have you seen the room we've got the meeting in after this? That room on the second floor, the little one.
Isn't that just for like 4 people?
Yeah, and we've somehow got to get in there all together, like 20 people in the team.
We can't get 20 people in there all together. That's crazy.
So here we've used all together because we're talking about all the people. That's 20 people. And yeah, I don't think we're going to get all those people into a room just for 4 people.
It's not going to happen, is it?
No.
All of these examples that we've looked at are all together as two words, all and together. Next, we're going to have a look at all together as one word. Now, we're going to look at all together as one word, and it has a completely different meaning. In fact, it means completely. Let's listen to an example. Beth, you said we were going to go to the park after work, and actually, after that, why don't we go to... There's a pub there, isn't there?
Yeah, I think there's one on the corner, although, actually, isn't it closed?
Oh, what? Why don't we go tomorrow?
No, it closed down altogether.
Oh, it's closed down altogether. Oh, maybe we won't go there then.
So, in this case, we've used altogether because the pub has closed down forever. It's not open anymore, so it is completely closed.
Okay, changing the subject completely altogether. Beth, do you still speak to your ex-boyfriend?
Oh, no, I stopped talking to him altogether. I don't really want to talk to him anymore.
So no birthday card, nothing?
No contact.
Okay, and here Beth said she stopped talking to her ex-boyfriend altogether, and he means completely. She doesn't talk to him at all.
Phil, changing the subject again, are you still a vegetarian?
I've stopped eating meat altogether.
So if I offer you some of this roast chicken sandwich, you're going to say no?
Definitely. I've stopped altogether. I've completely stopped. I'm not going to touch a bit.
Okay, I think we get the idea.
Okay, so we've looked at all together as two words, and we've looked at all together as one word.
So, all together as two words means with everyone, but all together as one word means completely or entirely.
And actually, we're all together out of time today, but don't worry, we can all be back together next time.
We love you. Goodbye.
See you next time. Bye.
All together كم كل التقال كون كله بسمول أسوي مزغنا يكون نجرجل مدوار كون كله all together كم حدا قال كون كله جن بتقل العملات كم كانوا ذكروا. سلازي بملتها نتا جانتا all together كم كل التقالات ንምርካብ is all together ከም ሓደ ቃል ዝተሓላለኸ እዩ ንማይ ኮሽን ዝብል ናይ ቢቢሲ መደብ ትምህርቲ እንግሊዝኩም ክትሰምዑ ፀኒሕኩም በሉ ኣብ ዝመፅእ ዘሎ እዋን ይረኸበና ሕቶታትኩም ክሰዱልና ከም ትኽእሉ ዘክሩ ምናልባሽ ኣብ ዝመፅእ ዘሎ እዋን ሰደድኩም ሕቶታት ምልስ ትኸውን ንሕቶታትኩም ናብ myquestion@bbc.co.uk ላኣኹ
Before we begin our broadcast, let's have a quick look at the headlines. Shortwave says terrorism is an evolving global challenge. New York Times article praises Erdogan's efforts in Ukraine crisis. Ukrainian president thanks President Erdogan for his efforts in prisoner exchange deal with Russia. Iran's Revolutionary Guards issue warning as protests over woman's death spread, and Biden says Russia wanted to wipe a sovereign state off the map. And now details of the news.
Radio Китай за чужбина. Китайская музыка.
Слушатели, добре дошли в днешната рубрика Китайска музика.
A round table is really a place that you can have certain connections with listeners, especially when I saw some listeners have already left some comments for me, and some of them can't even recognize my voice after listening to some of the shows. And I think the fact that they describe my voice as a, quote-unquote, a familiar voice, I think this really means a lot to me, and that is one of the biggest motivations for me. And I don't know if you have the same feeling, but it's such a great thing to be remembered and recognized. So, of course, I will apply myself closely to keep learning and improving to be able to contribute to the team. And, of course, it's such a pleasure to be here with you guys.
Well, Yushu, I've known you for some time now, and I have to say that I'm really, really happy that you're going to be participating more in this show, because every time I listen to you, you're incredibly insightful, and I think your experience as an editor probably has given you a really great perspective on the content of these programs and everything that everybody's saying, and I think that's probably going to serve you really well as we go forward. And I think just as a personality and as a person, you're going to be perfect for this show. Welcome.
Yeah, welcome. And thank you so much for joining us. It's fantastic to welcome a new, young, talented, and energetic member to our team. And we look forward to collaborating to push this show to new heights. And also, I hope you always feel free to speak up, share your thoughts, and challenge us. We're all going to grow together here, and we look forward to it. And that's really, I think, my happy place today. Okay, Josh, tell us what has made you happy this week.
Well, today I'd like to talk a little bit about my son.
Gântește-ți melodii chinezești.
interpretată de Hong Xiaohu, inclusă în album Simple Song, lansat în anul 2000. Cântecul a urcat repede în clasamentul
hiturile anului și a fost printre cele mai cântate la karaoke în următorii ani.
Чудищ клубился черный дым, а пасть извергала пламя. Медленно эти жуткие деревянные изваяния подступали к лагерю Мэнхо. Дикие звери, которых вызвал повелитель орды деревянного оленя, замерли от страха и попятились назад, а потом и вовсе пустились на утек обратно к лагерю. Огромная свора сметала все на своем пути. В rядах войска Мэнхо начались хаос.
Dünyanın her yerinde, günün her saatinde, TRT Türkiye'nin Sesi Radyosu güzel.
Then whosoever heareth the sound of the trumpet and taketh not warning, if the sword come and take him away, his blood shall be upon his own head. He heard the sound of the trumpet.
In the headlines this Sunday, September the 25th, Pope Francis calls on Christians to put Jesus at the center of their lives and become bread of tenderness and mercy for all. The Holy Father appeals for concrete actions for peace in Myanmar, Ukraine and Cameroon. And Italians go to the polls in a divisive general election. In the Vatican, I'm Linda Bordoni.
Radio Romania Internațional.
Programul PR Mâneaște.
Imisiți ascultători, ar fi sunt ora a treia emisiune de azi pe Armâneaște. Aducem aminte că Radio Romania Internațional da ca tizu 3 emisiuni pe Armâneaște.
And now, the Voice of Turkey presents news in English. President Recep Tayyip Erdogan held a telephone conversation with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. A presidential communications directorate statement read that at the meeting the leaders